I'm grateful that you're here with me. I hope this finds you blessed, rested, at peace. So, I have, we'll do a small meditation at the end of this, but before we do that, I wanted to kind of give some intuitive downloads and some intuitive hits that I've gotten this morning, listening to some other people, some very wise people that I gleaned from, but then also just receiving from my own spirit, from my own access to source. I just wanted to share with you some of the things coming up in my intuition. So, as we move into this week, and as we have already seen from the weeks previous to now, there has been so much chaotic energy, so much chaos, so much unknown. And it's not just the simple unknown that we've kind of become accustomed to, which is like, how are things going to turn out, and physical unknown. It's also, in my experience, has been an emotional unknown. Like I almost can't pinpoint what am I exactly feeling? What exactly is going on within my own body, within my own emotions, within my own spirit, within my own head? What's going on? So I want to just give you a little bit of courage and encouragement that you're not alone if you're having trouble identifying the emotions, identifying what's really going on, especially if you normally can do that kind of thing really well. And I just want to give you just a little bit of peace to say you're not alone. And for me, what's coming up in this is it's by choice, it's by purpose. There's a purpose to not being able to identify, or another way of saying it is to give a story to every single emotion or every single trigger maybe that's coming up. I'm getting the sense in my own life and in my own situation that I am releasing and moving and pulling things out that are deeply rooted, but that I am not necessarily getting words or stories to put with them. The reason being, sometimes we can over identify with the story. And Mercury is just now coming out of its shadow. And so what's happening is we are going to this coming week get some new language, get some new revelation of things being revealed. And that is going to give us the temptation to attach unnecessary meaning to stories. And when I say unnecessary meaning to stories, what I mean is that if we let the hooks of a story get into our psyche, get into our spirit, and by hooks, like how do you know that you're being hooked by a story? Well, is your emotional reaction to the story greater than your does your emotional reaction have greater weight maybe than your emotional state before hearing the story? Okay, so I don't know if that's clear. Let me keep going. This week, it's very important to find your peace. And I'm not going to say that it's going to be easy just to feel peaceful, but what I am going to say is notice when you leave your peace. Notice when you are in that aligned state. Notice how it feels to be at the center on that perfect line between the yin and yang. Notice what it feels like to be a whole being, to be the Christ spirit, to be the third thing, to come in the middle of all of the chaos and to hold your space. And then from there, as you take in a story, as you take in whatever's happening out in the world, or emotional relational connections, as that's happening, notice when you are leaving that state of alignment, if that makes sense. So this week, the focus is going to be on finding and keeping and maintaining my own alignment. And I'm not in the business right now of fixing anyone else or even fixing any of these emotional states that come up. So I just want to encourage you as this week comes up, take heart. You're not alone. everybody is going through this with you. We are all kind of receiving these different ways of relating and these different ways of emoting together. All of us are doing it. All of us are learning this at the same time. And so if you feel somewhat lost or somewhat confused, just find the I am within. And so now we're going to move into a small meditation, sitting together. And what I want you to do is take a moment and breathe. Let peace just sit over you for a moment. Let peace descend from the outside in, like you're a sponge soaking up the water of peace, just bringing it all in and allowing it to fill every single cell, relaxing the jaw and the eyes and the shoulders, relaxing down the spinal column and down the front of the body, feeling your hips opening, feeling your knees and your toes, noticing that you are completely here right now. Deep breath. Gentle, gentle breaths now. Now we are going to connect with the I am within us, because the peace that just descended over us actually is from source energy, which is within us as well as outside of us. So we are now kind of becoming equalized through osmosis, so to speak, of the external peace that I can bring in is going to match the internal peace that I can allow. And so as we take our next inhale, I want you to think the word I on the inhale. And as you breathe out, think am. And again, I am. And release any sort of story that would try to follow this I am statement. Simply becoming the embodiment of the peace that is I am. Allowing yourself to equalize into peace or stillness, the aliveness, letting it be exactly what it is, allowing the vitality to find its flow within you, back and forth, the ebbing and the flowing, in and out, releasing all judgments, releasing all ideas of good or bad, and simply allowing I am to flow and to align itself within us. Feel free to pause here for as long as you need to. And when you are ready, begin to wiggle your toes, move your body to bring yourself back so that we can alchemize and embody this I am in our real day-to-day life. Returning here anytime you need to. You may open your eyes when you're ready. I hope this meditation blessed you, finds you blessed, finds you whole. As we move into this week and any week whenever you're finding this, I hope that it gives you a sense of anchoring, a place to return in any situation as it comes up. I want to encourage each and every one of us to release any ideas or any judgment and to simply climb higher, come to a higher elevation. From a higher elevation, from this bird's eye view, from this place, not of higher like better. We are not one of us better than another. because each and every one of us can find ourselves in that depth, in those valleys. But right now we are choosing to ascend to a mountaintop or a bird's eye view, to climb a little bit higher so that we can see with real sight, so that we can get the distance that we need to see. And this is the importance of not attaching any meaning to anything that is happening right now. And by not attaching meaning, I'm not saying don't find meaning. The meaning is found within this source within ourselves. And that is why we return to the I am. The meaning is within. The meaning is the peace. When we can resonate the peace within us, the chaos around us has no choice but to begin to transform into peace itself. But I cannot change it by trying to create peace outside of myself until I have found a solid ground of peace within. And the beautiful thing about finding that peace is it is a resonance that I simply slip into. And when I find myself leaving that state of alignment, there's no judgment. I simply bring myself back on the breath. I am. I am. I love you all so very much. Thank you for being with me today.